As 2025 kicks off, everything about SEO seems to be changing. Everything seems to be in a state of transformation. Google is facing serious threats. 2024's algorithm updates left so many companies worse off. Generative AI search is reshaping what SEO looks like. We continue to lose data from our analytics tools, and so much more. So how do we approach SEO in 2025, and what does the new SEO really look like? Now, I don't make predictions. Nobody knows what's going to happen, but here are my 5 best pieces of advice. And these are based on the work I've been doing with clients to help them understand how SEO is changing and help them prepare for this year and moving forward with SEO. Number 1, search is way more than Google. Yes, Google still dominates search and dominates in a pretty significant way. However, people also search for information on YouTube, on Reddit, on TikTok, on Instagram, on Amazon, and more. Not to mention, people are also searching with generative AI tools. So we need a multi-platform search strategy, and that strategy needs to account for Google and how we optimize for ranking highly on Google. That's still very important. But that strategy needs to account for all these other platforms as well. If you're only focused on Google with your SEO work, you're going to get left behind. Number 2, generative AI search is a reality. Now, it's easy to dismiss it as something too small to worry about. It's insignificant. It's new. We don't need to worry about this yet. But I'd argue that's a mistake. Our customers are already using generative AI tools, at least some of them, to find information related to our companies. And these tools are growing. ChatGPT has an estimated 6% quarterly growth rate. Copilot, 7%. Gemini has a 9% estimated quarterly growth rate. ChatGPT's total traffic has overtaken Bing's total traffic. And with all that growth, things are shifting. And now's the time to understand how our customers are using generative AI tools. We need to start monitoring how generative AI is discussing our businesses or potentially isn't discussing our businesses. Maybe they're talking about our competitors instead. And we need to formulate an appropriate generative AI search strategy to account for this new reality. Point number 3, generative AI search looks different than traditional search. Even if people don't go to ChatGPT and toggle on search, even if people skip right past Google's AI overviews, even if they don't even go to Perplexity, they're probably still using generative AI to search in some way, right? They're having conversations with generative AI tools about things related to our companies. They're asking questions about things related to our products and our services. Now, these conversations do not look like a traditional search where people type in a simple query and they get back a list of results. Instead, these are conversational in nature, and these conversations likely include information about our companies in the responses. So we need to broaden our view of what search looks like to include these conversations, and we need to broaden our search strategies to make sure that generative AI tools are mentioning our company's products and services in relevant responses. One of the best ways I found to think about these conversations comes from Nielsen Norman Group. They talk about the 6 types of conversations people have with generative AI tools. And when you look at these types of conversations, they're all still a type of search, right? People are still trying to get some type of information out of this, but it's very different type of search than what we're used to, and we need to adapt our strategies accordingly. Point number 4, it's time to move beyond traffic as a goal. This one is tough. Google is fighting to survive, and they're going to put their needs first. And that means they're going to keep as much traffic as they can for themselves. A lot of people talked about how wild and desperate things looked from Google in 2024. And that's for a reason. Google is fighting to survive right now. They have legal threats and they have new competitors, unlike any we've ever seen Google have for the last couple of decades. So Google is trying to figure out how they're going to survive, and they're putting themselves first and not sending as much traffic our way as they used to. Now, ChatGPT and other AI tools, they are sending some referral traffic, but likely this traffic won't be as much as what we were used to from Google, even as these tools continue to grow. So our SEO strategies and goals need to evolve beyond simply getting traffic to our websites. Our metrics need to evolve as well. This one is hard to figure out what these new metrics look like, understand what these new goals look like, what's actually valuable within a generative AI response. There are some things that do seem like they matter more than others. Largely, it comes down to exposure in generative AI responses, both if your company appears and how your company appears. Point number 5, websites need to be flawless. In a world with less traffic, we need to engage and convert bigger percentages of our visitors. We can't make it up on volume like we could before. So our websites need to be perfect. They need to be usable. They need to be accessible. They need to be free of bugs. They need to load fast. Our content has to be updated regularly. It has to be written in a way that really meets our customers' needs. And so that means you need clear analytics that can give you the best insights possible. Even if you set up just a few things to understand how people are engaging with your website, you'll gain a lot of insight out of that. This also means that along with the quantitative data you can get out of an analytics tool, you need qualitative data. You need to actually talk with your customers and your users. You need to hear directly from them about what they need from your website. Even if you talk to just a handful of customers, you'll still get a lot of great information you can use to optimize and improve your website. None of this is easy. SEO is never easy, but especially with all these changes happening right now, there's so much work ahead. So if you are struggling or you just need help navigating some of these changes, let me know. I've been helping clients with full audits of generative AI search and coming up with full-on strategies, but I've also been helping people with half-hour or hour-long strategy calls where we can just open things up, look at these things together, talk through the problems, and help you figure out how you need to move forward. So if you would like help, please send me an email at matthew@elementive.com. I also share tips and tricks here on YouTube regularly, so please subscribe to our channel if you don't already for more information about technical SEO and generative AI search. Thank you for watching.